Right now, there's a building in Virginia that uses more electricity than 40,000 homes. Inside, there are no windows, military-grade security, and rows of machines that never stop humming. This building isn't a factory or a military base. It's where the internet lives, and it's just one of thousands. These are data centers, the physical backbone of the cloud, and the system that keeps them running is way more insane than you think. Here's what's wild. When you save a photo to the cloud, it doesn't go to the sky. It goes to a warehouse filled with hard drives in places like Iowa, Ireland, or Singapore. Your photo is split into pieces, encrypted, and stored across multiple locations simultaneously. If one data center burns down, your photo is fine. The system is designed for redundancy, but let me show you how deep this rabbit hole goes. These facilities are called hyperscale data centers, and they're some of the most extreme buildings on Earth. They require constant cooling. Servers generate so much heat that without cooling, they'd melt in minutes. Some facilities pump 100 million gallons of water per day through cooling systems. Others use outside air in cold climates, building entire data centers in places like Iceland and Finland just for the temperature. And the power consumption? Insane. A single large data center can use 100 megawatts, enough to power 80,000 homes. That's why they're often built near power plants or renewable energy sources. Google, Amazon, and Microsoft are now building their own solar farms and wind turbines just to keep the lights on. But here's the invisible part. The network. Data centers aren't isolated. They're connected by fiber optic cables that span continents and cross oceans. These cables, many of them privately owned by tech companies, carry 99% of international internet traffic. There are over 400 underwater cables connecting continents right now. Each cable is about as thick as a garden hose, but can transmit 400 terabits of data per second. That's the equivalent of 100 million people streaming HD video simultaneously, and they break constantly. Ships drag anchors across them. Sharks bite them, actually documented. Earthquakes sever them. There are repair ships on standby 24/7 that do nothing but fix broken undersea cables. Now here's where it gets truly insane. Latency. When you click a link, that request might travel 10,000 miles through multiple data centers before returning the web page. But it happens in milliseconds because data travels through fiber optic cables at nearly the speed of light. Stock traders pay millions to shave nanoseconds off connection times. There's a fiber optic cable between Chicago and New York that's worth billions because it's the straightest route, 87 milliseconds faster than competitors. In high-frequency trading, that's the difference between profit and loss. The system also has invisible hierarchies. Tier 1 networks are the backbone. They own the major international cables and never pay for internet access. Tier 2 and Tier 3 networks pay Tier 1 for connectivity. Your home internet provider is probably Tier 3, paying someone who owns the actual cables. And then there's peering, where networks agree to exchange data for free instead of paying each other. These agreements are negotiated in secret and can be worth hundreds of millions. If two networks stop peering, entire sections of the internet slow down. But there's a hidden vulnerability: concentration. Most internet traffic passes through a handful of locations called Internet Exchange Points, IXPs. These are buildings where hundreds of networks connect. If you took out the top 10 IXPs, you'd cripple global internet access. And physical sabotage is a real threat. In 2013, someone cut fiber optic cables near San Francisco in a coordinated attack. In 2015, divers cut undersea cables in Egypt. The system is incredibly resilient, but also has critical choke points. There's also an environmental crisis. Data centers produce 2% of global carbon emissions, about the same as the airline industry. And it's growing. AI training alone requires so much computing power that a single large language model can consume as much electricity as 100 homes use in a year. Here's the real power of this system. It's invisible infrastructure that enables everything digital. Every email, every video call, every Netflix stream, every bank transaction, it all flows through these buildings and cables. When data centers go down, modern life stops. So what's the lesson? The cloud isn't ethereal. It's physical, massive, and incredibly fragile. It's proof that digital systems require material infrastructure, buildings, cables, power plants, and cooling systems working 24/7. Next time you upload a photo, stream a video, or send an email, remember, your data just traveled through multiple warehouses across thousands of miles of fiber optic cables, consuming electricity and generating heat. That's not magic. That's the hidden infrastructure of the internet, the secret rooms where the digital world actually lives.